Et salvete omnes. Welcome, everyone. We're back on the horse with our Latin learning after a busy couple of weeks there. Again, playing with the schedule this summer as we settle into a routine. And so today we're going to continue with our Latin studies. I'm John Coleman from ApocatastasisInstitute for the Humanities and Alternative College and High School here on New Milford, Connecticut, USA. And this series is a nice, simple run through of Ecce Romani, which is a delightful series, originally from Scotland, brought over to these United States in the 1990s, and gone through a few editions here, edited by Gilbert Lowell up in Amherst, Massachusetts. Here at Apocatastasis, we are happy and proud to present Latin classes on the introductory, the intermediate, and the advanced level using Ecce Romani, the full series. Additionally, before we hove into this week's selection, a continuation of chapter 42, Quadringinta Duo, 42, 42, additionally to our classes that you may enroll in, we have free Latin reading sessions every Tuesday. At least they are every Tuesday during the school year. Right now, during the summer, it's every other week. So just write us for the details of that. You just have to drop in, and we get through all sorts of lighthearted stories. I have just a couple here, right? Horologium horrificum, the horrible clock, and Iter mirabile Dennis et Deborah, the marvelous journey of Dennis and Deborah to New York City, and all sorts of other things. The point is, we have a delightful time keeping our Latin skills in good fettle, and we would love you to join us for these free Tuesday sessions. Without further ado, we're going to finish this section today, and that will set us up, as we know, for our response questions. I'm just going to relocate the camera, and hopefully we'll have less wrestling with it. If you only knew the setup here. Okay, that should do. And we're going to do what all good translators know to do, and that is to read this first. Before we're going to even worry about translating, we want to read it first. Do not just jump into a sentence. So here we go. Nocte cum omnes dormierunt. Of course, this is from the first part of the story, where they have been waylaid. Two people returning to Rome via Brundisium from Asia, which is Turkey, have been waylaid by pirates. So that's what we're picking up in media res, in the middle of the story here. Nocte cum omnes dormierunt, egus rexi, pugione modo armatus, clam in mare desilui, ad litus netavi, casam piratum summa charitate petivi, cum case furtim apropinqua visam, per fenestram vide dominum mecum, in lecto iacentum ac duos custos vinum bibentes. Pauris per nicet faciebam, mox tamen alter e custodiebus e casa exit, alter cum domino meo maneba. Tum ego serencio en resus un custodam pugione percussi, deinde e case en resus alitus dominum portavi, nam ide propter volnus egrotabat, neque ambulare poterat. Ibi scafam invene, quam pirate non custodiebant, ita litore profecti ex insere vassimus. Iam multos dies in scafis eramus cum a mercatoribus, quibus tam invente sumus, Honium neque cibum neque aquam habebamus, graviter enrotabamus, sed mercatoris nos raverunt brandisium atturerunt. Ibi dominus meus multus dies moratus iam convaruit e paucis diebus aderi. Tu autem domine miserere nobis. So that's the first warm-up. If you're doing this by yourself or in a class, it actually would be beneficial to read it 1 or even 2 more times. And that's, of course, especially the purview of private study, and the delight of private study is indeed to go over it. Not even worrying about the translation yet. You're lighting up the synapses in your brain by doing this. Do not just cold translate something. And then we want to pay attention to our new words here. So we have superare. These are the 4 principal parts we don't need to worry about now, but superare in the infinitive, to overcome or to conquer. Superare, pauper, pauperis is poor. Even we have this in English, pauper. Casa, case is a hut or a cottage. Pugio, pugionis is a dagger. Clam is secretly. Quoniam is since or because of. New verb as well. Convarescere, to grow stronger or to get well. Okay. So with all of that, let's translate. Nocte cum omnes dormierunt. That night, while everyone was asleep, or when everyone was asleep, ego sorexi, I got up, pugione modo armatus, armed with a dagger. Clam, secretly, clam in mare disirui. Secretly, I went down to the sea, ad litus netave, to swim at the beach, and not for fun, but to escape. Casam piratarum summa traditor petivi. The house of the pirates with the greatest speed I sought. I think he's actually going from the ship, if memory serves. Forgive me. If memory serves, he was in the ship and he's going secretly to the sea and to the beach he swam. Yes, to the beach he swam, seeking the house of the pirates with the greatest speed. So, excuse me, he's not escaping from the pirates and going to the beach, the ship, but rather from the beach to the pirates on land. Okay, cum case furtem apropinqua visam per fenestram vide dominum mecum electo iacentum ac duos custodies vinum viventes. When I was approaching the house secretly, through the window I saw my master in bed, thrown in bed, and 2 guards drinking. This is a participle. The verb uses an adjective, a participle. Drinking wine. Paurisper, that's a new word. Oh no, that's pauper. Paurisper is for a while. I was doing nothing. Mox tamen alter e custodiebus e casa exit. Soon, however, another of the guards from the house left. Alter cum domino meo manevat. Another was remaining imperfect. He was remaining. Imperfect tense is the ing. With my master. Tum ego serencio in resos hun custodem pugione percussi. Soon I silently entered and struck that guard with a dagger. I struck him, I stabbed him with a dagger, getting pretty PG-13 now. Deinde case ressus ad lithus dominum portave, nam illi propter volnus agrotabat, neque ambulare poterat. Then from the house, leaving, to the beach, I carried the master. For that, according to that wound, he was sick. Neither could he walk. So the master had to be carried because of his wound, and he could not walk. Ibi scaphem invenne. There I found the rowboat, the scapha. You want to learn up old tortures, you can look up scaphism. But anyway, I found that rowboat, which the pirates were not guarding. Quam pirate non custodieban. Ita aditore profecte ex insula evasimus. Thus from the beach I set out from the island, evading or escaping. Here they say escape from the previous page, escaping from the island. Iam multus dies in scapis eramus. Now many days we were in the rowboat. Cuma mercatoribus quibustam invente sumus. When by certain merchants we were found, coniam neque cibum neque aquam habebamus, because neither food, neither water were we having. Revater agro tabamus. Because of this, the lack of food and water, we were gravely ill. We were heavily ill. Sed mercatores nos curaverunt et brandisium obturerunt. But the merchants, they took care of us, and they brought us to Brundisium. And I'll show you after this where Brundisium is. It's really the gateway to Italy from Greece. Ibi dominus meos multus dies moratus iam convaruit, e paucis diebus aderit. From there, my master, many days, we're going to double back, moratus, I'm not quite sure. Now, convaruit, e paucis diebus aderit. We have a few things here. Convaruit, have to get stronger. Now, he grew stronger. And a few days, we were there. But what is this moratus? Even Latin teachers must look things up. We don't want to guess. And I'll show you where Brundisium is. On the back of these Ecce Romani books, there is a English, Latin, English dictionary, and it's usually pretty good. Moratus. Here we go. Here, actually, this is because of this particular word. There's three principal parts. There's a way to get the fourth one. Anyway, moror, morari, moratus, sum, to delay or to remain. So, this last sentence. There, my master remained many days in Brundisium, and then he was well, and a few days later, he set out. So there we go. Brundisium, and then we'll do the questions real quick. And then I have to run to that Latin session that I mentioned earlier. So they have maps here, if I can find it. But Brundisium is on the, of course, Italy is kind of shaped weird. But Brundisium is on the east coast of Italy, kind of where the boot is. Here we go. And it is here. You see that? Yeah. So Brundisium. This is where the Battle of Cannae was fought, not too far away. And really, this whole area, when I teach everything through the Renaissance, this is likened to a slide to get to Greece. This whole Adriatic Sea here, and the culture all along the backside of Italy, as well as this area in the Balkans, is heavily Greek. And in fact, southern Italy was called Magna Graecia. And anyway, Brundisium really was the embarkation point to get to Greece and Asia, what they call Turkey, as well as vice versa. So it was a big port in that, what would you say, east-west travel. And that is where our story takes place briefly. So we bring this session to a close. And again, we do offer at Apocatastasis Latin on the introductory, intermediate, and advanced levels using Ecce Romani. And also, again, we invite you, regardless of enrolling in class, to come to our weekly Latin speaking reading sessions, of which one of them is bearing upon me now, but not so soon that we can't respond to this. So, responde Latine, we'll just answer them real quick. Quam prates superatos adduxerunt? To where did the pirates bring their captives? Ad insuram apierate adduxerunt superatos. To the island, the pirates, they brought their captives. Duo. Quid parate faciant se Valerius pecuniam non habet? What did the pirates do, or what would the pirates do if Valerius does not have money? I'm going to just pull the trigger and say they're going to kill him. Yeah. Okay. Si Valerius non habet pecuniam perate necant Valerium. They will kill Valerius. Tres. Quid servus nocte fecit? What did the slave do at night? In nocte servus, or what did he do? Yeah. Natit litho et servit dominum Aequus. He swam to shore at night and saved his master. At ultimus quatuor, commodo Valerius servus ex insula evaserunt. How, or in what manner, literally, did Valerius and the slave evade or escape the island in Scatha? Valerius servus ex insula evaserunt. In the rowboat, they escaped the island. And then finally, as our dessert, we have this saying down below, a forti et fideli niceres difficili, in English. And these are all classical quotes. Nothing is difficult for brave and trustworthy men. Once again, forti et fideli niceres difficili. Very appropriate. So there we go. There we go. We have our Latin update this week, and we'll carry on with our grammar next time, looking at the subjunctive case, the subordinate. And with that, I'm going to boogie-woogie to some more Latin, and perhaps we'll have you join us live for our reading session down the line. Valete omnes.